Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be looking at a lot of work that I did for the coin throwing and coin jumping. You're going to see the coin jumping as the character jumps up, coin automatically gets thrown down, and it's more like a double jump in the air, and the coin, when it hits the ground, it causes the double jump, not when he actually presses it, so it is more like kind of like a push that the character does off the ground. So I'm going to be going over that today and how that worked, and also the collection of the coins. You can see they collect multiple coins instead of one at a time, so let's take a look. So one thing I want to say right off the bat is I've pretty much scrapped the keyboard controls at the moment. I'll come back to them and put them in later, but for right now, most of what you see is being done on a controller. So it's using an Xbox controller because I think the movement for that feels just a lot better. So what he's using is the right trigger for pushing, left trigger for pulling, and then throwing a coin is the right button, so RB on the controller. And I think that's a pretty good way to separate the controls. And then you can see he just throws out coins, and there was this bug that was happening where they wouldn't quite connect with the wall, so that was something I had to fix. I wanted to implement some kind of coin jump, like a double jump in the game. What I wanted to do was when the coin hits the ground, the character would automatically push off of it, so it would act like a double jump. One of the problems that I had was that they would go through the ground. It was just traveling too fast, so I had to fix that. At this point, I've solved the problem for the walls on the left and the right, so when he throws the coin hits the wall. It doesn't go like 6 inches from the wall, but there's still a problem with the coins getting trapped in the ground. One thing I wanted to try out, which you'll see me do for a little bit here and then I ultimately scrap it, is using the built-in physics engine for the game. There's a lot of problems with it, and you'll see me play around with it for a while, and ultimately this does end up crashing the game and causing a whole lot of problems. There's friction where there's not supposed to be friction, and it just causes a whole mess of problems when it's bouncing off stuff incorrectly, so I had to scrap this eventually. And right about now it's crashing the game. So at this point I implemented a coin collect system. Basically if you use the left button on the Xbox controller, which is the front button, it collects one coin at a time, and the coins will just slowly come up to you. I think they still travel through walls at this point, but at some point pretty soon that's gonna get fixed. But at this point I've also scrapped the physics, so the game is just working the way it was before, but everything is working very smoothly, and all the push and pulls work correctly. At this point I've fixed the collision with the coins so that when it hits the ground it goes to the very top of it instead of passing about halfway through. You can see the character at this point can just kind of spam that double jump button, which is not what we want them to be able to do, so eventually I'll have to add in an alarm to that, and that will just prevent them from spamming it over and over again. One thing I noticed while I was playing was that it wasn't very fun to just collect these one at a time. I wanted to be able to collect a bunch of them at the same time, so I made a fix to that. So you can see here when you throw the coin, you can press the LB button on the Xbox controller, and that will recover the coins to you, and it will take any coins that are within the medal collection distance and return them to you. The problem here is that they will go through walls even if you don't want them to, so that's something I had to fix. At this point I made a much more exaggerated jump bounce, and you can tell that when it's hitting the ground there's a slight delay, and that's because it's waiting until you hit the ground before it gives you the extra jump, which I don't know if I had actually implemented it up until this point. It was at this time I also discovered a bug that if you have a coin on the ground and you try to pull yourself towards it, one, it will crash the game, and two, you shouldn't be able to pull towards the coin like that because it's a light metal object and you have to use your own weight against it. So what happens now is I didn't think it'd be very fun if you didn't pull at all when you try to use the left trigger, because you want to have everything be consistent. So you pull towards the coin, but the coin also comes towards you, so it counteracts your weight in that way, even though that's probably not what would really happen. It just makes it a little more manageable control-wise. So in my attempts to thwart that bug, I created a new bug where as soon as the coin is destroyed, it automatically transports you to the next medal, where what I want it to do is completely stop you from pulling at all. The last thing I did was add a collision with the wall, so as soon as it hits the wall it stops flying towards you, and it will do a collision check as soon as you are trying to make it fly towards you. So that worked really well, and that's the last thing we'll show you for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and keep following if you want to see where this project goes.